Hello guys, welcome to our video. So this video going to be an epic video because we are going to do a collaboration with Tamil Reefer, which is a local YouTuber and also reefer out here in my area. So we both are going to do a collaboration video like once a week or once a month like that. So we have planning for that, so we will do that. So in this video we are going to see 6 best beginner corals out there.
First coral in this video will be Xenia. So guys, talking about Xenia is like the god and the devil of corals because Xenia is like a beautiful pulsing coral. I will try to show you guys a video of that. It's a pulsing coral which looks amazing and it will bring a ton of movement to your aquarium. And the care level for this coral is easy too. The temperature should be 28 to 20. The temperature should be around 25 to 28 degrees Celsius in normal temperature here in Malaysia, unless it's like freaking hot. But other than that, it will be just around 20 to 28 degrees Celsius. Then you guys can feed corals and you guys should be feeding them phytoplankton, but I will not suggest that. I will tell you guys why later. So going to the pro of this coral is that it can tolerate bad quality water, which most of the beginners would have because they don't know if they are it's because they are mostly excessive feeding the fish or having a lot of nutrients in the tank, and the quality of the water gets bad if all the things happen. And Xenia can tolerate all this and will grow in this kind of tank and will prefer this kinds of tank. So Xenia can grow, but guys, keep this in mind. The con of Xenia is that it can take over your tank and invest your whole reef tank, and if you guys have other coral, can kill other corals. So keep that in mind and try to isolate your Xenia in a rock or a sculpture that you guys do have in your tank, so that the Xenia will just grow on that and not on the main rock structure. So with that said, so that is the Xenia coming in the first place for the big.
To number 2, ZOANTHIDS. So zoa or zoa polyps, zoanthids. So they got a lot of names out there. So care level of them is pretty much easy. The temperature on them 25 to 28 degrees Celsius normal. So feeding, we no need to feed anything because they are filter feeders. That means they will feed on the phytoplanktons in your water column. So that's normal in every aquarium. You will have amount of phytoplanktons and zooplanktons in your the plankton creatures will in your water column because you have wavings, so they will create out there. So these corals feed on the phytoplanktons, but sometimes you can feed specially created amino acids to them, so that the coloration will be very beautiful, but that's not a must. So actually I got bunch of zoanthids in here. So you can see I have a people eater zoa colony, have a small colony out here. So I got set up new rock system, so I will talk it about later. So next I got the premium yellow zoa, which is a designer. So I'm now going to tell what is a designer zoa. So zoanthids have a lot of different types. So they are got some natural varieties and some of the designers. So designers are way too expensive and the natural ones are way too low cheap. So the pros of these corals are they are very beautiful, easy to care, easy to frag, fast multiply and cheap. So the cons will be they will release some sort of toxic which called paleotoxin, which can cause a lot of harmful things to the human body if we contact with our eyes, nose or mouth. So we no need to inhale that gas or something like a liquid coming out of its mouth. So it's very dangerous. It can cause some snoozing, some disease, like sometimes it can cause some fever also. So please make sure that wearing mask, glass and glove while fragging this coral.
Coral is where GSP, or well known as green star polyp. This is a beautiful highlight green coral which looks more like grass in a reef aquarium, and people use this coral mostly to just hide their back glass or their overflow, or to hide their overflow, which it will grow on that very pretty. So you guys can try that too. I will be trying that too. And the K level for this coral is easy too. The temperature is same, 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. It is also a filter feeder, so you guys can feed phytoplankton. And the pros was that the pro of this coral is that it's a very fast growing coral. Once it gets established in your tank, keep that in mind. And the con of this coral is that it can take over your tank too, but and also it needs a lot of flow in your tank, which other soft corals don't like. So if you guys are keeping JSP, do keep that in mind. You do need a good amount of flow so that the polyps will start to extend. So coming in the number 3, it is the GSP, green star polyp.
Number 4, the mushroom corals. The care level on them is pretty much so easy. So this is my first coral ever I had. So next, the temperature, they are a little bit colder like corals because they are 23 to 28 degrees Celsius, so that's easy for us to keep. So the feeding on them, you can feed a copper pot, the frozen or a living one, you can feed anything, but make sure that they are big. So the pros of this coral are a lot of color variation. I mean a lot. There are dozens and dozens and tons of color variations in this. I have just a single coloration because that's the cheapest I have ever seen, so I just got for 25 ringgits from them. And there are OG bounce mushrooms, so that's one of my dream coral, which they can have something like a bubble like thing on top of some of the tentacles on them. So that's our Tridacina. They got some morphized and changed to like that coral, so they are way too expensive. I have seen in my local fish store in Penang, so they sell that for 1,000 ringgits. That's awesome. Just a couple of inches of corals, way more expensive. So if you have chance to buy mushroom corals, means please go and buy some of the cheaper ones, because you can cultivate it and sell it your local fish stores and also some local reef stores after you. So the cons of this is some of the mushrooms can develop some sort of venom glands which can sting other corals. This happens when some of the bigger size mushrooms have some long tentacles like anemones, so they can go and reach the other corals and sting them. So if you have a big one, make sure that you create like an island like I created like that. And here, this is for Anemone Island, so that's for the zoanthid. I wanna go do like a garden, so you can do something like that.
And going to the 5th place, the coral is that leather coral. Guys, leather coral is another beautiful coral that look almost like an anemone in your tank. And care level for leather corals are easy too. Temperature is same, 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. It is also a filter feeder. And the pro is that it grows tall and have a lot of color variants, so you guys can choose your favorite color with this coral. And the con of this coral is that it do have sweeping tentacles, sting other corals, so do not place them near other corals, to keep that in mind. And do not then near any wave makers, because their sweeping tentacles can get stuck in the wave maker and this might hurt the coral, so do keep that in mind. And I'm pretty sure that leather corals do grow big, so if you guys do have a nano tank or something, this might be the last coral that you guys want to think of to keep, because it grows big. So guys, coming to the point why I do not prefer feeding corals is because corals will be just fine with the light that you guys are providing. And if you guys are feeding your fishes with phytoplankton, and some of the corals are not as aggressive as other corals when it comes to feeding, so you guys might end up just increasing your nutrient content in your water. So feeding corals not necessary, but if you guys want to do that, try to spot feed your corals with a turkey baster, which might help. And do not feed a lot, just feed a little. But feeding corals do come with a plus, which is the corals will grow faster and the coloration of the corals will pop up more. But if you guys do have a good light, then the light itself will pop up the coral, so don't have to worry about that, guys. So personally, I do not prefer feeding my corals. I just leave it to the light, and the light will just provide enough energy for the corals to grow naturally. So that is what I want. So in my case, if I have to choose between Xenia and GSP, I would like to choose Xenia first, is because I like the pulsing action of the Xenia coral. So the first coral that I might buy for my aquarium might be a Xenia, so do wait for that video to come. And thank you for
the last coral for today is the CLOVE corals. So clove corals are one of my first sustaining coral until today. So I got it 8 months ago. So he's right here. I got a single small head, but he's now this much tall and have 10 over more new polyps right there. So clove corals or cat level is pretty much so easy. The temperature on them are 25 to 28 degrees Celsius, so that's normal. The feeding on them are filter feeders. That means they will feed on phytoplankton, so we no need to feed. If you want, you can do some phytoplanktons in your water column. So next, the pros of them are they are very fast multiplier, and they're easy to be fracked also, and they are low light corals. If you have a blue full of blue coloration, I have white, green, blue and red, so that's why it's like a full magenta mixed color. You cannot see the actual color of the coral. That's a super yellow, orange, striking greenish and something like a brown their body. So that's very beautiful coral you can get out there. So these are very cheap corals, so that's the pros of them, and they have some cons also. The cons also not so much compared to other corals in this list, because these corals are very hardy. So the cons of this is they are easily injured by other fishes. So actually this is not my experience. I take from a forum called Reef to Reef Clove Corals Problems. So I just got some research, and they told that these corals easily injured by other corals or other fishes, because I got a friend called John from Canada. So he told me that his clove corals was damaged because of his maroon clownfish, which trying to go and host that coral. So and the coral wasn't open for a couple of days, and then he was healed and opened again. So that's the only problem I haven't seen to this coral. So other than that, they are best beginner coral you can out there. So please go and check out his channel, also the Tamil Reefer's channel, so you can go and check out and subscribe to his channel. So this is everything for today's video. So without delay, thank you for watching this video. In the next video, until then, this is Praveen with Praveen's Animals and also Tamil Reefer. Bye bye.